In today's video, we are going to talk about how to take swing trade with help of entity. If you like this video, do like and share our channel, and also do not forget to subscribe to our channel. Now, how to identify trade using entity platform and our custom RSI and Bollinger Band. Now, first to identify a few trades, you need to follow some steps, you need to follow some criteria. If the criterias are fulfilling, you can easily continue with your trade. Now, which criteria you need to follow before taking any trade, I'll let you know. First, in swing trade, once you want to take a swing trade, for swing trade you can only take a buy and a sell trade only if the candle has given a breakout of above previous day high negative candle or above high of inside candle. If you want to take a buy swing trade, on entity dashboard you have something known as entity filters. On that, if you click, you can see that there is two tabs there: above high of previous day negative candle and above high of inside candle. Now this, both the candles, if there is a breakout of any of one, you can take your swing trade. Now where do you find this? To find that, you have to go to the entity dashboard, and on entity dashboard you will find something known as entity intraday filters. Once you click on this intraday filters, from there you can identify which stock you need to buy or you need to avoid. Now, to buy a stock, as discussed, you need to have a breakout of above previous day negative candle high or an inside candle high. Now, once you go under the entity filters, intraday filters, you have two tabs here: bullish and bearish. Bullish tab, you have two tabs: above high of previous day negative candle, above high of inside candle. Same goes with bearish tab. On bearish tab also you have two tabs here: below low of previous positive candle and below low of inside candle. Any of this you can pick, and from there you need to identify any one stock which has given a breakout. Now after a breakout, for an entry there are few rules which need to be confirmed. Once that rules are confirmed, you can create your buy or sell position accordingly. Now what are the rules to confirm? First, if there's a stock in an MT4, where on intraday filters if you click, for example, if we can take I guess we will take HUL, because that was a stock which has given a breakout. So once if I go on the chart on the intraday filters, I can see that there's a stock HUL which has given a breakout on 5th of January. Now once there's a stock which you have identified, like for example on 4th of January, HUL high was 2558, and on 5th of January at 9:19, HUL broke yesterday's high and went up to 2558.50. So this was a breakout of previous negative candle day high. Once the breakout is done, now you need to follow some set of rules to identify where to take your entry. Now what happens is, usually in swing trade you take an entry on daily time frame where your stop losses are more than 2%, 3%. But in our case, if you take trades with help of entity, your stop loss will be less than 0.5% on daily basis, and you can carry forward your trade. Now for example, if I go and if I check which stock I need to buy or which stock I need to avoid, for that simply, once I identify a stock, few rules need to be fulfilled. Now what are the rules which need to be fulfilled is, first, after selecting a stock, like in our case this was the stock HUL which we selected. After selecting a stock, there's few criteria which you need to follow. That is the RSI, both the custom RSI. Once you go on at the MT4, you have a tab known as swing trade daily. On swing trade daily, you have to check whether the stock RSI is coming from below 10 and below 3 respectively. There are two custom RSI mentioned there. I'll show you on practical screen how it works. There's a tab known as swing trade daily template. On that template we have custom RSI, and on that you need to check whether that RSI is coming from below 10 or below 3 respectively. Now how to check that? Once I identify a stock, I need to go on MT4. Now once I go on MT4, here on MT4 you can see that there are two RSI levels mentioned here. These are the custom RSI levels. So here are the two RSI levels. Now here I can see that somewhere around this was the negative candle 4th of January, and this was the candle which gave a breakout of a negative candle. Now once the breakout is confirmed, you need to check whether your RSI is coming from below 10 and below 3 respectively. How do you can check that? Once you click on an RSI, you will able to find out what is the value of that RSI. Now once I click on an RSI, I can find that on 4th of January, if I take my crosshair or if I take my RSI value, whatever it is, if I take it here, I can see that my RSI value on 4th of January was around 3.15. Same if I go on the below one, I can easily see that my RSI value on that day also on 4th of January was somewhere around 0.58. Now once I get my RSI value, after getting my RSI value, I just need to check whether the RSI is coming from below 10 and below 3 respectively. Now how I can know that? Here there are two lines mentioned here, below 10 and above below 10. Now once the RSI is coming from below 10 and below 3, I can confirm that my RSI is rising from bottom and also my stock has given a breakout. Now once your stock has given a breakout, once the RSI is rising, after that you need to follow few more steps to identify your trade in intraday. Now what you can do is, after the RSI you have checked, now you have to check whether my entry is coming or not. On daily time frame, what happens is, if you take your swing trade on daily time frame, your stop losses will be around 2%, 3%, 5%. But if you want to take your trade, swing trade with the bare minimum risk, then you have to go on a smaller time frame. Now what we did, we checked the RSI level and the stock on daily time frame. Now what we'll do is, we have another template known as swing trade small time frame. Once you click on that template, with 5-minute or 15-minute candle, you will be able to identify the entry point for that particular stock. Now how to identify an entry point for that particular stock? Now to identify an entry for that particular stock, you have to do is, once you open that template, once you go on that template, you have a series of red candle. Now for a buying stock, for a buy swing trade, once the stock has given a breakout, now suppose this was the negative candle, once the stock has given the breakout of this negative candle, it will come to retest it. Once it comes to retest, we can create our entry position there. Now how we will know that the stock has came for a retest or not? The stock has came for a retest or not, we'll be able to know that on swing trade small time frame template, where you will be having a custom Bollinger Band, and on that Bollinger Band, if the series of red candle is coming to the lower end of our Bollinger Band, we can create our entry with the immediate first green candle. I'll show you practically, you'll understand much better. Once I go on to that template, after that your stop losses will be the low of that series of red candle. Once I identify a series of red candle, the low of that red candle will be my stop loss. Now how to do that? I'll go on the same MT4. Once I go on MT4, now this was the template which we used for daily time frame, swing trade daily. Now here we'll go for swing trade small time frame, and on that we'll click on 5-minute or 15-minute according to you, whatever you feel comfortable, you can click on that. After that you need to go to the 4th of January date, and on that you have to mark what is the high of that particular date. Once I mark the high of that particular date, after marking the high of that particular date, you can take your buy or sell entry in that particular counter. Now how will do that? Here if I zoom in a little bit, here I can see that on 4th of January at this point around, if I go, this is the 4th of January chart. On 4th of January, this was my high. The high was around 2558. Now once on 5th of January, on the first immediate candle, the stock took its high. After the stock has taken its high, as discussed, we'll wait for a series of red candle. Now what is series of red candle? Once the high is taken, here there are few series of red candle. Once the series of red candle is formed and near the lower end of the Bollinger Band, as soon as we get the first green candle, now here if I go, I can check it. Here is, this was my first green candle, somewhere around this was my first green candle near to my lower band of Bollinger Band, and after a series of red candle. Now once I get a green candle, that will be my entry position. Now here if I click on this series of green candle, and if I click on this green candle, here the bottom of the red candle, the series of red candle, the bottom of that will be my stop loss. Now if I trail it here, I can see that my entry was somewhere around 2562. My entry was my stop loss was somewhere around 2557. So again my risk is of 5 rupees in a swing trade of a stock more than 2500 rupees. Your maximum risk is 5 rupees. With the 5 rupees risk, you can see the immediate next day stock gained up to 2610 rupees. It's more than 50 rupees. So I got easily 1:10 risk reward trade. And with our template, our custom Bollinger Band and RSI and our swing trade, you can easily gain 1:10, 1:30 trades in intraday. So once you get a breakout, after that you just need to wait for a series of red candle, and on the lower end of the Bollinger Band you can take your entry. Now on this same counter there was a sell position also after few days, and I'll show you that how the sell position works. Now I'll give you one more example of buy side. Now to identify one more example on a buy side, we'll take an example of a stock which has given a breakout recently. If you take an example, that is Chola Finance. On Chola Finance, you can see that on 12th of January, 11th of January's high was taken. Negative candle high was 672.95. On 12th of January at 9:28, Chola Finance broke the yesterday's high, and whenever the stock breaks in yesterday high, when it's come to a scanner, as discussed earlier, first we'll go on MT4 and we'll check on daily time frame on swing trade daily whether the stock RSI is rising or not. Now, how to identify the stock RSI is rising or not? We have a template name as swing trade daily. On chart window, 1 day candle, and we'll go on swing trade daily there, and we'll see that whether the RSI, our custom RSI, is rising or not. Here I can see that this was the candle, this was the negative candle, and the very next day on 12th of January the stock took off this negative candle's high, and there was a breakout. So on that same day, we need to check whether the RSI was rising or not. Now, how to check the RSI was rising or not? As simple discussed, when you click on RSI, you will be able to understand, okay, the RSI was somewhere below 10. I can say it was near 6.84 on 4th of Jan, and here again on 11th of Jan, the RSI was somewhere around 3. So I can clearly state that my RSI was below 3 and below 10. After that, on 12th of January, when stock took off, the RSI also came up. As soon as the RSI comes from below 10 to above 10, below 3 to above 3, my stock confirmation gets confirmed. Once my stock confirmation is confirmed, I'll go on swing trade small time frame, and there I'll check on 5-minute or 15-minute time frame whether I'm getting an entry or not. Now, how to identify whether you're getting an entry or not is simple. Now, to identify an entry, we'll go on that chart frame. Here we'll click on we'll mark the 11th of January high. What high of 11th of Jan? Now the high of 11th was Jan was somewhere around this point, that is 673 rupees. I'll just mark it properly. The high was around somewhere 672.85, that is 673 rupees, around 673. Once the high is taken off on 12th of January, after the high is taken off, as discussed, we'll wait for a series of red candle. Now once I get a series of red candle here at the lower end of my Bollinger Band, as soon as after the series of red candle I get my first green candle, that will be my entry point. Now here if I see, this was my entry candle, the green candle, and the low of the series of red candle will be my stop loss. Now in this case 680 was my entry point, 678 was my stop loss. Now with a 2 rupees risk, if suppose I took a 1000 quantity of that counter on that day, with a 2 rupees risk, I easily, the immediate next day the counter went around 710. With a 2 rupees risk, I gain a 30 rupees, that is 1:15 risk reward ratio. So my maximum risk was 2000 rupees if I took 1000 quantity, and I would have easily gained 30,000 rupees in that particular counter. So this is how, with the help of entry, easily, it is very much easy to identify 1:10, 1:30 risk reward ratio trade, and very next day, within next few days, you'll be able to get your targets. So this is how, on a smaller time frame with a smaller stop loss. Now 2 rupees stop loss is not a big stop loss in swing trade. In swing trade, if your stock is of 700 rupees, 1% of 700 rupees is around 7 rupees. Now your stop loss is less than 0.5%, and your target is 1:15, 1:10, 1:30 risk reward ratio trade. So this is how we identify stocks for buying. Same if we go for selling. For selling, we have same criteria. Few rules have been tweaked for selling. For selling, your RSI. Now once you identify a stock, like same I told you earlier also in this video, HUL was a counter in which we got a sell trade. If I check on 11th of January, the HUL broke 10th of January's positive candle low. So the positive candle low on 10th of January was 2615, and on 11th of Jan at 9:21 the counter break off yesterday's low, and once the yesterday's low is breaken off, as on buying side, same criteria goes for selling side, with only the differences on the RSI level and the entry point. Now what is the difference on RSI level on entry point is, I'll let you know. The RSI difference is, once you identify a stock, the RSI should come from above 90 and above 97. So the RSI should come from above 90, the RSI should be falling from above 90 to below 90, and from above 97 to below 97. Both are custom RSI. If it comes from above 90 to below 90, above 97 to below 97 respectively, then you can take that stock for your swing sell trade. Now what is the criteria? Now same, the criteria is very much same. Once you identify a stock, go on swing trade daily time frame and check whether the RSI is falling or not. After which, once you identify the RSI is falling, same you will go on smaller time frame, RSI swing trade small time frame. Once you go on swing small trade, there you will identify whether there is an entry or not. Now to take your entry on sell side, for buy side we wait for series of red candle, on sell side we'll wait for series of green candle. As soon as we get a series of green candle on higher end of the Bollinger Band, on upper end of the Bollinger Band, on selling side, on buying side it was lower end of the Bollinger Band, on selling side it will be upper end of the Bollinger Band. Once we get a red candle near upper end of Bollinger Band after a series of green candle, we can take our entry. Same, the stop loss will be below, the stop loss will be above the series of green candle. Now here in stop loss, same on buying side and on selling side, stop loss should be only considered after a candle closes above that price. Now for example, this is a stop loss, there are many wicks coming to near our stop loss. If there are only wicks coming near our stop loss, we won't consider this as a stop loss. Only the stop loss will be considered if the price, if a candle has closed below the stop loss level. If a candle has closed below a stop loss level, then only it will be considered as a stop loss, otherwise it won't be considered as a stop loss. Now here if I go on MT4, we'll check how it works. Once the positive candle low is taken out of on 11th of January, after the positive candle low is taken on 11th of January, I just need to check whether my RSI is falling from above 90 to below 90 and above 97 to below 97. Our custom RSI, when you click on it, you will be able to understand what was the RSI level. If I click on this, I can easily see my RSI level was somewhere around 90.8, and on the second RSI, my custom RSI says that my RSI level was somewhere around 97, 98 around. So once I get my RSI level, it was around 97.62. So once I identify my RSI is falling from above 90 and above 97 to below 97 and 90 respectively, this is my trade for selling side. Now same, to take your entry, you will go on small time frame, swing trade small time frame, and once you go on swing trade small time frame, there on 5-minute pattern or on 15-minute chart pattern, will identify whether a series of green candle is formed or not. Now once I go on 10th of January chart, on 10th of January I need to mark what is the low of 10th of Jan. Now once I mark the low of 10th of Jan, here my low was around 2615. As soon as the candle breaks the low of 10th of Jan, on 11th of Jan, I get a notification, I get a scanner alert on my entity. Once I see there was a stock breakdown, after that on daily time frame I check the RSI. After the RSI, once there is a breakdown of a stock, you need to wait for a series of green candle on selling side. Once I get a series of green candle near my higher end of Bollinger Band, there I'll take my entry position. This will be my entry position. In this case, my entry will be around 2619 and my stop loss will be around the high of this green candle. So the high of the series of green candle was around 2624. So again, my risk is of 5 rupees. Now with the 5 rupees risk on selling side, the immediate day the stock fall more than 20 rupees, and the next very day the stock find another 20-25 rupees. Here also I got my 1:10 risk reward ratio trade, and it is very much easy with entity to identify 1:10, 1:30 risk reward ratio trade with a smaller stop loss. Now best USP, the point is you get a smaller stop loss, but on swing trading usually your stop losses are 2%, 3%, 4% of the value of the stock, but here your swing trade will be considered with less than 0.5%, 0.4% stop loss. So this is how you can identify trades for buying side and selling side. It is very much simple. You just need to follow few steps, and after that it is very much easier to identify a trade. If you like this video, do like our video. If you are new to our channel, do subscribe to our channel, and also if you are not subscribed to Entity, for the same has been given into the description. You can go and register for a free demo and subscribe to our services. Thank you.